Hello everyone, welcome back to Cupid Bridge's Hot Topics. Today's topic is how to tell whether your man is sincere. Sincere means they genuinely want to meet you and they aren't just on the website to cure their boredom or to worse have some kind of sexual relationship with you or something like that. Are they really serious about meeting you and having a relationship with you? It's easy to be charismatic, funny, interesting when you're just chatting and interacting. But how do you determine whether he's really interested in meeting with you and having a true relationship? Over the years, we've come up with a couple tips and tricks, things that our subscribers have learned about. So let's go right into it. The first thing we can say is a man responds quickly. If you email him, he responds the same day, sometimes within a few hours, certainly not after a couple of days. When you're chatting with them, he responds quickly. He's not multitasking. He's not focusing on lots of different things at the same time. He dedicates his attention to you. When you talk to him, there aren't long pauses between his responses. This really tells you that he's focused on you, he's thinking about you, you're occupying a space in his mind. It's not just you and maybe several other people that he's interested in. He's really focused on you. Another thing that will help you determine whether he's interested and sincere is whether he's not too quick to be sexual. Not too quick to be ultra flirtatious. It's okay to be a little flirtatious. It's okay to have some funny comments between you. It's okay to talk about trying to be sexy. But when it's the first email, or it's been the first couple emails, or when it's continuously talking about sexual things, or I need another photo of you, and it needs to be in a certain clothing, or that is an indication that they're not willing to build a relationship properly and take their time. That they're not interested in the most important thing, which is who you are and your personality and how well you work together, as well as your goals and what you want to get out of the relationship. Instead, the man wants to skip right to, I guess, the fun parts that he's interested in. So if he's not doing that, if he's keeping that kind of sexual flirtation down to a minimum, or that he's waiting the appropriate amount of time before he gets to that, that's a good sign that he is sincere. If the man takes the time to make plans with you, he tries to schedule time with you. Maybe he wants to set a date and time to chat next, or he asks you when you work and what time you get home from work, and he asks you whether you can talk then. That kind of planning and forecasting is a good way to determine that he's really sincere about you, because he's actually moving around his own schedule to accommodate yours, especially when you have this time difference between China and the United States, or whatever country you're from. At the same time, as another way to determine that he's sincere is if he's spontaneous. If you are talking and you say, I want to see you right now, and he's willing to do that. He's willing to turn on his camera and see you. Or you say you want to talk to him through the chat and he's willing to respond to you right away. That's another good sign. Men who have something to hide, or they have another family and they don't tell you about it, or they're dating or trying to talk to multiple people, don't have the luxury of being able to talk right away because they're busy talking to someone else, or they're busy dealing with their own life and their own family. So sometimes that can be a clue that they are not sincere. Another thing is if they remember details about you. You share with them that you like religion, you share with them that you like a certain band or a certain kind of music or a certain kind of food or activity, and later on they remember this. They remember this by giving you a gift or just talking about it, or they bring it up as a topic of conversation several days after you first talked about it. If you've got a lot of different people you're talking to, or you just don't care, if you're not really sincere, you're not going to remember those little things. But if that man does remember, then you might think that he's really taking an interest in you. If he prioritizes you, if he sacrifices his own schedule to be with you, if he takes time out of his workday to maybe take a 20-minute break and say goodnight to you because you're several hours ahead of him. These are good ways to determine he's sincere. If he's curious or he asks you interesting questions about your life, he's wondering then what it's like to be with you. He's imagining the situation that you two would have together if your life was, if you were living together. These are good ways to determine that he's interested in you, because he's not just interested in the conversation right now between you, he's looking ahead to what it would be like to actually live together. If he asks about your opinion, if he cares about what you think about a subject, maybe it's politics, or maybe you're talking about how to raise children, or something like that, and he says that he thinks that reprimanding your child using a stick or spanking them is a good way, and then he says, you know what do you think? What is your opinion on that? That's a good way, because he's interested in your own thoughts. He's not just selfish and thinking about his own stuff. So that's a good way. And I think one that I've heard that is really a powerful way to determine whether he's sincere is that he is willing to reveal something about himself that he's afraid to reveal. So sometimes men have physical conditions or medical conditions. Maybe they have a weak heart, or maybe they have some kind of skin disease. Maybe they have some kind of physical impairment. Maybe they have a hearing loss or something like that. If they're willing to tell you this over the email, you can really bet that they're sincere, because they're giving you a weakness. They're telling you something about them that makes them less desirable, and wondering how you respond to that. I remember when I met my wife, Cece, who you know very well, I told her that I have a hearing impairment. I told her I can't hear very well. And I did that a couple emails into a conversation. I think we were actually chatting at video when that happened. And I was afraid to do that. I was scared about what she would say, because it's a little bit strange, and it makes me different. It's also challenging to deal with that when it requires extra effort on your part to help the other person. And she appreciated it. She really thought that it meant a lot. It meant a lot to her, because it meant that I was willing to share that information about myself and sacrifice that. So that's another way to tell that your man is sincere. So it's very important, in closing, to determine early on whether your man is sincere. You don't want to waste a lot of time with a man who's just looking to have fun, and sometimes they're not just looking to have fun. Maybe they are looking to have a wife, but they're not serious about you. They're sort of just talking to you, but they're not serious. You don't want to waste your time with that person. You want to get the clues and make a decision about who you want to focus your time on. All right? So that's how to tell if a man is sincere or not. What do you think? What are some of the ways that you have determined that a man is sincere? Comment on it on our website, cupidbridge.com. We'll show you a coach, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. All right. Great, as always, talking to you. Until next time, 再见.